start, we want to give all praises to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Waha, Raha, Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles in Israel who will teach well, to the Akim and the Iris and Bibles and those pushing videos in truth and sincerity, to the brothers and sisters in the truth. Now, you can see a lot of things happening, like there's been, obviously, we've had the COVID, we've had floods in the earlier part of this year. Recently, we've had flooding in China. We've had wildfires, some great fires in America. We've had blackouts. We've had crops destroyed in America, 43% of the crops. And what's happening is the Most High is starting to visit this earth. And what we need to do as a people is get ourselves right, The scripture says we have to examine ourselves. And this is something we have to do as a people. We have to examine ourselves because at the end of the day,
believe in Jesus Christ. Believe in Jesus Christ. Hey, our people are into some serious madness. The Bible says that when you speak, you need to use that word. I'm paraphrasing it. I think it's First Peter 4:11. Every time you open your mouth, that's what we do, right? Have you seen the prophet? Every time they speak, they back it up with what? Scripture. She's not doing that. She could be talking like that for the next 2 hours and no scripture will come out of her mouth. That's right. Believe you me. And that's the madness that the Bible speaks of, And the women as well. You women know you're not supposed to be preaching. That's right. So when the ones that come with a hammer, don't complain. Because she's talking about she want to preach Jesus Christ, but at the same time she don't want to follow him. He said, if you love me, follow my commandment.
Shalom. Yeah, so like I was saying, the Most High is sending signs for us to know that us getting out of here is near. So one thing we have to be doing is examining ourselves, because the scripture lets us know that the devil is walking around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour. And it can be very easy for a brother or sister to just to fall without really realizing it. That's how crafty the devil is. We can end up offending our brothers in the truth or our sisters in the truth without knowing it at times, and we can offend them to the point where we hurt them, where we can't fix that hurt. Only the Most High can fix that hurt. So we have to really check ourselves in this walk, Like, it's easier said than done at times, and it's all good and well. Like, everything we do when we come out here and teach, we have to remember that it's a two-edged sword. So we're not just speaking to the brothers and sisters that's watching. Everything that we teach, we have to apply ourselves to the best of our ability. So, these prophecies shows that our coming out of here is close. And we don't want to be offending our brother or sister to the point where we make them fall out the truth or we hurt them where we can't rectify that. So we just have to be mindful of how we're stepping. Bring out the first one.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 29 and verse 6.
Yeah, because really and truly, time's coming, time's short. And we have to, really and truly, we have to check our walk.
That's right, that's
right. What I'm saying? We have to really check our step. And it's a daily examining. It's not like Christians would say, I'm saved and that's it.
Like he's butt down.
Yeah.
Jesus loves you.
It's a daily walk.
It's a great copy.
And the thing is, they wouldn't even define what the love that Jesus loves is.
And that's what I was saying. He said, Jesus loves me. You should keep, like, I don't even know. Let's
love me, keep my commandment.
If you're talking about your people, sometimes, like, when I talk about, I start, how do you say, stuttering or whatever.
It's confounded,
man.
Yeah, there's a book of Isaiah, chapter 29 and verse 6.
Yeah.
Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts, Yahweh of hosts, with thunder, and with earthquake, and great noise, with storm and tempest, and the flame of devouring fire.
And that's what the Most High is doing now. When you look up like what's happening around the world. In China, there's been a serious flooding, which I just mentioned. And when you look at the images, you got like, they were the one that sort of come out of this virus situation before everyone. But the Most High is showing you that it's still visiting the earth because of the wickedness. You know, and we should see these things and really check ourselves, make sure that we're in right stead for when the Most High returns. You know?
Also, before you carry on, see, the thing about, you know, what's going on right now, the thing about what's going on right now is that because it's quiet right now, I mean, it's a point where it was speak with the COVID-19, but now things seems to be getting back to normal.
Full sense of security.
You see, and that's what you lot need to, that's the reason why we bring in these, you know, these topics, you know, just make sure that you know, don't be like the 5 foolish virgins, basically. Because the Most High is right at the door. I mean, no, it's talking about the calm before the storm.
That's it.
That's the calm before the storm, man. But then on the other end,
Noah.
yeah, the days of
That's
Noah.
right. That's right.
People were having fun and yeah, go on, Gary.
As I say, can I just add a precept to what the brother's saying?
Yeah,
and this is the reason why we come out here day in, day out. Like every Sabbath, you'll find us here. The brothers up this area during the week. You would find the brothers out there teaching and pushing the word. And here's why. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 3, verse 17. And it reads, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel.
That's who we come out to. Like there was a Muslim brother up here, you probably see at the end of the video. We're trying to show him that this word is only for Israel. Most I ain't switched it over and gone over to any other nations. Yeah, so we've only come out here for our people.
And then it reads, therefore hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me.
That's
right.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah, I was doing something. So yeah, that's good. So basically, what it is that I mean, look, what's her name again? The wife of Bill Gates. Barbara.
Melinda.
She was like, we need to try the vaccine on the blacks. You see? And that's what that's the reason why the Moses wrote this one. Read it again. We have to warn you because it's a serious thing, man.
Ezekiel chapter.
I think you said it on the news over here.
That's right. Oh, they said on the news, you see? So that means that's a serious thing. That means behind closed door, while they be having that meeting, that's what they're talking about. They're strategizing on how they're going to push it on the black community, so to speak, when it's time. So we have to warn you and give you the tool as in how do you fight back. See, that's our role. We're not here to give you the tool, because sorry about it, you read it, but like there's a woman back in time when I was watching one of the videos. She came to the brother, she was like, yeah, you are always talking about the Bible, this, Bible, that. What do you bring in? What businesses do you bring for the young men? That's what they need. And I'm like, no, that's not what they need. Because I'm sure they can go to the bank.
Ye men of Israel.
Hear these words.
I'm sure you see, they can go to the bank and get a loan, but what does it do to them? Nothing, right? What we need right now is the law. What we need right now is to learn how to keep the law. That's the new thing, but that's what will save us.
That's right.
So we have to, whether you like it or not, we have to, so that when that time comes, you got scriptures backing everything we're saying. Yeah.
This is Ephesians chapter 5 verse 26.
Bring it out.
That he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word.
By the word, and that's what we need, and we ought, and we shall. We have to bring. It's an obligation for us. The Bible says, "Woe to me if I don't bring this gospel, if I don't preach it." We have to warn you, Lord, because we know and we certain that what's coming is very, very bad. So read that.
This is why I said we have to be checking ourselves on a daily basis just to make sure that the walk that we're walking is correct. Because it can be easy to slip right. Realize that you're slipping. It's like King David, he wanted to number Israel. And Joab was telling him, no. And it's only after he done number Israel now, because once I wanted to judge Israel, that he's kind of realized that, boy, man was kind of off. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, it's a good thing. On that token, you got, we were talking before for starting. And there's a guy, there's a brother of ICDK, a lovely brother. He came, we were talking and that, we were just talking. And he said, what was your background? And I said, I'm from West Africa. And he said, so before that, he wanted to give us, he said, take my number. So as I'm taking, he's asking me, what's my background? And when I say West Africa, he said, no. I will give him, because he asked me, he said, from Trinidad. So, oh, yeah. So you see, these are the things that we need to grow out of, The Most High is calling us to grow. Obviously, we have our personal work, like little thing here and there that we have to check and down. But you can't be a teacher and are you sure there's no Israelite in Africa? So what is Isaiah 11 talks about? About stretching his hand and taking some of the children from Africa. So you have to preach the real truth. You can't be going, left and right with it, man, to please yourself.
I don't
know what you say. We have to check out.
That's part of it.
That's part of it. Yeah, read it. Let's warn them.
It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 3, verse 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me.
And you can see the warnings. We're coming out and verbalizing these warnings, but if you actually look around you, if you read the scriptures to see what it says, and you look around you, you can see the signs. That's what these are. These are warnings that the Most High is giving us to let us know that, my son almost come back, man, like, to visit the world.
Isaiah 29. Can you read it again? Read it again. Say read it again. Isaiah 29.
That was me.
You've lost it, don't worry, I'll grab it. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter...
So many things are going on.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 29, verse 6. And it reads, Thou shalt be visited of Yahweh, of hosts.
That's right. It needs visiting right now. Because there's been a fire in California. That fire was hell, man.
It's still burning, though.
It's still burning. That's how it feels. Listen, before the COVID-19 hit Europe, it was in China. And I remember I was working in a hotel where there was a lot of Chinese people, and then one guy was like, oh no, it's not going to come here. It's not going to come. Something that happened in China. But what happened? Less than 3 weeks, it was all over Europe. We started in Spain, then we went to Italy. So when we see this fire in California, you need, you see what the Israelite man and woman need to do now is to learn to train a spiritual eyes. See, Yahweh speak with signs, man. Before he's gonna bring something, he bring little by little. The fire, what does fire represent? Cleansing agent, but it's burning. So now he's telling you, first of all, that in California, there's a lot of sinning that's going to go. We know that's Hollywood. And then on the other hand, he's telling you that he's about to burn the whole place up. That's the sign that we're supposed to take. And when you take that, you got to learn to be now like mindful of how you do it. And let me tell you something, it's hard to, in this truth, it's very hard, man. There's certain things that are very hard to come up. Let's be real. But you need to be willing. You need to be asking for the mercy. You need to be showing to the Most High that although I'm not really strong in that particular area of my life, but I'm willing to follow you. So you can't say that the Most High is not loving us because he's showing us signs. Especially for us in the UK. How many, apart from the COVID-19, how many serious things has happened? The Czech in America can tell you, they had Katrina, they had this, they had that. We didn't have it. You know what I mean? Most High is serving England last. Why? Because Babylon came out of England, man. America was birthed out of England.
That's right.
So don't sleep on it, man. If you're a Czech, if you're an Hebrew Israelite in the UK, just know that terrible time are coming. Just because things are quiet, it don't mean that it's not coming out. That's actually the mercy of the Most High that he's manifesting.
That's the quiet before the storm.
That's the quiet before, that's the calm before the storm, man. So we have to warn the people then about, what's coming. We have to act.
And also Yahweh created the wicked for the day of judgment anyway. That's what they were created for. So he's leaving them for that day. Really
Yeah, that's it on that, man. Because
I was on 6. I only got to the...
oh, yeah, carry on.
I'll read it from the top again. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 29, verse 6. Thou shalt be visited of Yahweh of hosts.
That's what the Lord's doing now. He's visiting this earth, bringing judgment upon the earth little by little, but also letting our people know that we need to really sort ourselves out.
That's what he's doing. That's what I said earlier. When he brings a fire in California, he tells the Israelite in England that it's not touched. Oh yeah, that is time for me to get myself together, because the fire, you see the same fire that you see over there, it might not be fire over here, but it will manifest into something different. But it's still the judgment. So my point is, the judgment is still around. See, when you read in the scripture, it tells you that the Messiah was going to deal with the other nation. It was going to destroy them slowly but surely. Little by little. That's in Exodus or something like that, right? So don't sleep on it. Don't say to yourself, because I know, Jake, right now you can go and bow, do whatever you want, but you're thinking now, I'm slowing down on my walk now. No!
Shops are starting to... Actually, where was I yesterday? I was in one of them shops there. And the shelves again were starting actually was Asda, okay, roll. I was in there and some of the shelves were starting to empty again.
Wow,
that's
deep. See? So the brother already has a spiritual, I see, and these are the little things that when the most I show you, you shouldn't, I don't take anything for granted anymore. I take every sign, I put every sign on the table. Why? Because that's the same thing he showed us earlier before the COVID-19, when COVID-19 was coming. He went to a shop and he saw it and he was like, famine of the words. And then what happened? We were preaching here and the police came and said, if you don't leave famine, we're going to give you a fine. And that's how we stopped preaching for it. So we cannot, when you go and see these things, you have to, this is the most I was telling you, warn my people, man. Whatever they bear for bear, warn them. It's coming. Yeah, carry on.
With thunder and with earthquakes and great noise.
That's what he's doing at the moment. Like I said, in China, if you look it up, they got some serious flooding. And when I say serious flooding, like the whole shrine. It's worse than what we saw over here.
And isn't it funny how COVID-19 started in China?
And it wouldn't.
Isn't it funny?
You got the top three. You got Edom, Ishmael, and Moab.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And there's a judgment, man. When you read Jeremiah's man, he says, he talks about Jeremiah. There's a curse that's coming on, a judgment that's coming on Moab.
And then in America, with the crops, there's 43% of the crops got flattened. Now, what's that going to bring? That's going to bring famine.
It's going to bring famine.
Yeah, you got the fire. That as well as just destroying things. Like the Most High is not playing now. He's telling our people to like really sort
That's what
themselves
we were
out.
saying yesterday about, we were talking about the 4 winds.
Yes.
In your video, and I was like, yo, the Most High is holding it, man.
He's holding.
He will let little angel bring the little distraction to you. Really, it's us. It's for the 1/3 and the 44K that he's doing that. The reason why there's no, utter destruction right now, because he's still having mercy. The mercy door is still open.
That's right. The ark door ain't shut yet.
It's not shut yet.
This is
Don't sleep on it.
Psalm 78 and 49. He cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath and indignation and trouble by sending evil angels amongst them. So these things that we see happening is Mosai telling the angels them, look, give them a little taste of what's to come. Like in America where that fire is in California, it's still burning. Like the video that I watched, you see the reporter there standing on bare soot, and you just see little clumps of fire behind it still burning. You know what I'm saying? Then on top of it, there's a heat wave, like the heat wave that the Most High has sent over there. It's like it's the worst they've had in donkeys.
And also, that's a sign for the real fire that's coming. And you see what you saw on the floor, little, plants in the ash. That'll be bodies, man. That'll be stubble. That'll be men. That'll be men. That'll be destroyed. So he's telling the people in the Israelites in America, yo, open your eyes and see what's coming. Because I'm coming. I'm coming. I will come. And he will come. So it's about time, that we really take these things serious. Like I said, it's not easy. But the Bible says, don't let your sin, weigh you down. This is a serious work, man. It's not easy because the devil always trying to push you in a place where he's thinking, I don't want him to get salvation. So he pull like peculiar things that you struggling with. Sometimes, like Paul was saying, my spirit is willing, but my flesh is weak. You find yourself doing the same bullshit. You don't like it, but but then at the same time, the Most High knows why he's doing that. You keep the faith and don't fall out of the truth. This is time not to carry on, man.
So you have to endure to the end.
That's right. Are you done with this?
Just a little bit to finish. With earthquake, and this is the continuation of Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 6. Just a continuation.
That's right.
And with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest, and the flame of devouring fire.
Yeah, so it's a fire. So that's what we were talking about earlier.
And that's what's to come, innit?
And that's what's to come, man.
With that heat.
The Most High will come with that pure fire.
It raised up the temperatures over there. That's called them blackouts. They're saying something like...
Oh yeah, there was a blackout ourselves as well. I know it was in New York or somewhere, there was a blackout.
Yeah, and they're telling them they have to conserve, for 7 hours, they have to conserve the electric that they're using so that it don't stress out the grid. Another video I saw where it was night time, it was just pitch black over the whole city, just clumps of little lights here and there.
What does he make you think about? What does it remind you?
Bro, when it talks about
Exodus.
Yes.
It's pitch dark.
Oh yeah, where you can put your hand down, you couldn't even see your own hand.
Yeah,
Put it in front of you, you can't even see your own hand.
These things are coming back. These things are coming back, man.
That's right. And they explained the deep in the Apocrypha. I can't remember where to find it off the top of my head. But Moses was bringing them up. That's why it says it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. So this is why I started off with saying we need to check how we're stepping. It can be easily done without you really realizing it. And you just have to go to the Most High and try and correct your walk.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 30 and verse 30. And it reads, and Yahweh shall cause his glorious voice to be heard, and shall show the lighting down of his arm.
Now another thing that just happened, probably about 2 weeks now, you had over in China a lightning bolt lick a power line. If you see the fire that it caused, you know what I'm saying? Like the picture was mad. It's like you just have to look at the power. You know what I'm saying? The power
upon it, man.
So all these things are manifested, like in our real time. It's like there's no real reason for our people to not really believe the scriptures.
And also, even when you speak about it right now, like I said, it's just like when you pull like you drop like a mouse, when you drop a mouse, in like a bucket, right? And then you put that, not even a bucket, like a metal plate, how do you call it?
Like a cage.
Yeah, you put it on like the heat, right?
Oh, you mean that?
Yeah, and then it would take time, but at some point it would start big, the water will be hot to the point where the mouth will be taken by surprise, and that's what's going on right now. Because technically right now England is in a recession. So that means they're gonna listen. The big firms like John Lewis, they're closing down, man. So what make you think that 6 months down the line, things ain't gonna happen? I'll give you one little tip. Have you noticed, at least in England, right? No, in London. Certain back roads are being blocked.
And they're putting bollards.
Yeah? You gotta open your eyes. Like I say, train your spiritual eyes and learn signs now. Because the most I speak with signs as well.
That's a car control.
Yeah? Control, so that means there's something that's coming. See, Esau is not playing with vaccine, you know. You're gonna take this vaccine. It's a matter of you asking yourself, am I gonna be protected by the Most High, or am I gonna be let out of the circle where I can't be, I have no protection?
Or am I gonna die in the faith?
Am I gonna, you know what I'm saying? But at least, am I gonna die in the faith? Am I gonna have the tawat, the protection? Ask yourself that, man. That's very serious because Esau is working. That's the reason why, if you ask any good criminal that been through it, they come at 4 a.m. Why are they sleeping? They're creeping on you.
What does the scripture say?
Esau is the hunter, man.
Yahweh's going to cut Yahushua's going to turn like a thief.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how you know that Esau was sent by
Because like a thief in the night.
That's how you know, because Esau had the same way of doing it. Well, he is Yahweh's word anyway. Do you know what I'm saying? So don't sleep on that. Carry on.
The scripture says that he does a diligent search. So in like manner, we need to be diligent with this walk.
Oh yeah, we need to very diligent. We need to work on ourselves. We need to fight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
This is not part of it.
yeah, but
Let's carry on.
yeah, you go ahead.
Show, like that, exactly. But this is a continuation of Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 30. With the indignation of his anger and with the flame of a devouring fire, with scattering and tempest and hailstones. Verse 31. For through the voice of the Lord shall the Assyrian be beaten down, which smote with a rod.
Who's the Assyrian today? The Assyrian today is Esau. And that's what he's doing, he's smiting with a rod. But the Lord's going to take this kingdom down. Yeah, and he's showing us signs that it's coming down. So we need to be trying to perfect our walk in this truth.
Verse 32, and in every place where the grounded chaff shall pass, the grounded staff shall pass.
The grounded staff is what? The grounded staff, what is it? In every place where the grounded staff shall pass, the Lord shall...
I didn't finish it, I thought you was going to talk about it. Oh yeah, which the Lord shall lay upon him, it shall be with tambrets and harps, and in battle of shaking will he fight with it. Verse 33, for Tophet is ordained of old.
Now when you look up that place Tophet, that's what so that place Tophet, when you look it up, that's a place where they used to cremate things. Just read that again, bro.
Yeah. Verse 33 of Isaiah 30. For Tophet is ordained of old, yea, for the king it is prepared. Yeah. For Tophet is ordained of old, yea, for the king it is prepared. He has made it deep and large.
And like I said, that place Tophet is a place where they
Please read it again. This scripture is, read it again,
33 of Isaiah 30. For Tophet is ordained of old.
A place of cremation. That's what that is. Yeah, so
That's deep.
how do you cremate things?
You burn it. That's how you purify it.
So a lot like America, England, certain places in America will be like, the world will be like a cremation place.
That's that fire, man.
Yeah, it will turn into a cremation place. It will burn. Because there will be, that's why he says in Jeremiah, it's like that's where today we're going through it like the Most High is bringing us all over the place. Yeah, let me find something. Just to add up to that one. Yeah? No. It's like previous death. 24. Jeremiah 42.
Read your
Yeah. So this is the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verses 2. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord, Yahweh, so cometh as a thief in the night.
That's right. Yeah, so he's coming as a thief in the night, and that's what I was saying, that right now, in case you didn't know, England is officially in recession, right? That means something ain't right. That means the Mosai is taking them out of the power seat slowly but surely. I said it earlier, I said the Mosai destroy people slowly, our nation slowly, all right? Yes.
in Jeremiah chapter 16 verse 4.
Yeah.
They shall die of grievous death.
They shall die of grievous death. I'm linking that to the, what was it again? What was it reading again?
Isaiah
33. Yeah. So that's what basically, if you, the analogy, if you put them together in this present time, that's what it means, right? There will be a lot of death, grievous death, you know, judgment of all sorts. People won't have time to bury their loved one, man.
Jeremiah 16 and 4.
It's a spirit.
Says they shall die of grievous death, they shall not be lamented, neither shall they be buried.
They shall not be lamented, neither shall they be buried, man.
They shall be as dung upon the face of the earth.
That's right. Meaning like there'll be, you walk and you see like a pile of dead body, man.
And let me just jump in on that one too. So Matthew 24 and verse 19. And woe unto them that are with child, unto them that give suck in those days.
So the Mosai will make it like these wicked, you know, these wicked Eve. The wicked Eve, although that prophecy already passed in a way, like,
exactly.
But prophecy like history do repeat,
Exactly.
you know, that repeats itself, you know. So these wicked women that are giving us hell, you know, and destroying our children because they're in bed.